Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Daniel. I'm head of product mobile at Argent. And welcome again to this event today. We want to celebrate and also demo our recent launch, Starknet, on Argent Mobile to you. And I think some of you probably know Starknet already from our desktop wallet, Argent X. Some might not know Starknet, but maybe know Argent from Argent Mobile, where we were so far mostly present on Ethereum mainnet and CK Sync. So before we dive into the demo, I want to take a little step back and maybe give a bit of context on why Starknet is so important for us and also why especially mobile is important for us. So it's probably no surprise that to most of you here who are in the community for a while that Ethereum has a bit of a scalability issue. And I think L2s, you probably heard about it, are one of the main cornerstone in solving that scalability issue. There are many L2s, but we believe Starknet is one of the most important ones because it has a very strong team. So some of the most capable people I ever worked with, I've met at Starkware. And it also has a super strong community. It also is a bit different from a lot of other layer 2s in terms of the technology. It relies on CK technology without going into too much detail, but it's, I think, one important development to basically scale Ethereum, but at the same time have the security guarantees from mainnet. And the last part, which I think makes Starknet very special, is its native support for account abstraction, which if you followed Argent for a while, you probably know that we strongly believe that account abstraction is really a key if we ever want to make Web3 really usable for the majority of people and reach mass adoption. The other part, I mean, that is why Starknet is important, but why are we particularly proud about launching on mobile? As I said before, we already have our desktop wallet, Argent X. But the reality is that most of the world actually runs on mobile. There are 7 billion people who use smartphones. Most of the emerging economies in the world, where most of the people actually live, places like Latin America, Africa, most of Asia, have skipped the step of buying personal computers, buying laptops, and the most powerful computer they have and that they use the most often is in their pocket, their smartphone. So that is why I think there's no way around mobile if we ever want Web3 to reach mass adoption. And that is why we are particularly proud of having that milestone of launching Starknet on mobile. If you are not a user of Argent Mobile yet, please go and download it. It's available in the Apple App Store. It's available in the Google Play Store. Download it. Make also sure that you have funded your wallet, you have it properly set up. We have a little Easter egg for you in this call, so you might regret if you don't have a funded working wallet that is able to pay for a transaction or two. So I will start now and share my screen and go into the actual demo, which is the purpose of the main purpose of this call. So follow me to explore this new feature. Questions are always welcome, right? So if anything pops in your head that you want to learn about that is unclear, feel free to ask. There's a lot going on in the chat sometimes, so I might miss some questions, but there will also be time for a proper Q&A at the end if I don't pick up your question. All right, so, and by the way, bear with me, this is a live demo, right? So this is not pre-recorded. Some things maybe might take a while because we are also dependent on Starknet here, but I guess, I mean, usually everything works fairly well, but you never know what the live effect is. Before we go into the features, a little reminder, Argent, like nothing changed about the principles of Argent, right? Security is always at our core. This is just like everything else we do. It's a self-custody product. security is something we care about a lot, not your keys, not your wallet, right? So everything is still under your control. You have control over your funds. Nothing of this ever changed and will ever change, just as a reminder. What you can see here right now is the asset screen of the Starknet account. So it's basically the starting point. Once you went into it, I can start by showing a transfer. Those of you who used Argent Mobile before might be used to that already. And I will do a little transfer to a friend. And as you can see here, oops, a little typo, of course. Live, as I said. That's the proof of liveness. And as you might realize, I did not enter a hex address, but I entered a Starknet ID. So we are resolving Starknet IDs here. I can go through, do a transfer. We'll review the transfer. And it's sent. It asks me to save it as a contact. I don't want to do that right now. But as you can see, Starknet addresses are resolved, which is a very nice, seamless flow. So if you're interacting with people who are active in the ecosystem, most of them will actually have a Starknet ID. If they don't, they should have one. So ideally, there's a future on Starknet where no one has to remember these hex addresses. And now I want to show off something that is a bit more special. Transfers, I think, is one of the core use cases. That's nothing really new. You can do that with all wallets. But I want to introduce you to another product that was part of our Starknet launch, and that is called Spock. Spock is an acronym and stands for Starknet Proof of Kudos. A little bit of a funny name, play on words. And it allows dApps and conferences, organizers, basically everyone, to launch digital collectibles that commemorate special moments on the blockchain, right? So we are trying to make use of the idea that everything on the blockchain is forever. So memories can be stored on the blockchain forever to remember them. They can basically create a drop and share a link or a QR code, and then everyone can claim that collectible that they released. And it's a very playful and fun product. So once you have Starknet Mobile on your phone, I encourage everyone to play around with that, explore. There are some Easter eggs in there. And well, today we are having an event here right now. So I want to commemorate this live stream event by claiming one of those Spock collectibles. And to do that, I will just open the QR code scanner. And I will scan this little QR code. Can see it's checking my eligibility, and surprise, I'm eligible to claim the Demo Guru Starknet Spock. All of you are part of this live stream right now. So all of you are part of this special moment. So all of you can also claim the Spock. We will share a QR code, probably now, any minute, that if you have Argent Mobile installed, just as I showed, you can just open the QR code scanner from your Starknet account, scan that QR code, and land right where I am right now. I'm going to show you the full claim process in a bit. And to claim, you will need to have some funds in your wallet to pay for a transaction, so keep that in mind. I know that some people here will not be in that state. Maybe they haven't funded their account. They're still waiting for it. We will show that QR code at the end of this call again, so you will have some time to claim it, but it will be only claimable today. So keep that in mind. All right. Let's give everyone a second. Yeah. So we will share that again. No worries if you missed it. There will be time. Even after the call, we will leave it on here for a while. Just make sure you claim it today, because claiming window will end later today. Okay, so as you saw, I scanned the QR code, right? So I'm now in this flow where I see my collectible. At the top, you can see this 6th to 6th December. That's the claim window. So as I said, you can only claim it today. You can learn By tapping on that info icon on top, I can learn a bit more about what this moment, this Spock, is actually about. And then I can claim it by basically tracking it to my wallet. Since in the end, it's an on-chain transaction where I'm minting the Spock, I get this transaction review, which we have across the app, where I basically see what transaction I'm trying to do. There's a little network fee, like every transaction. I approve it, and the transaction is out, and the Spock is claimed. You have the option here to share the Spock on social media, and yeah, you can also just close and go to your collection. And that brings you to that collection view. As you can see, the transaction is still being confirmed by Starknet. So that's why I have this little loading ball here. Let me see if we can actually, how long that takes today. Well, I guess we can also continue. Or we use that time to talk a bit about activities. In activities, you can see basically, I just minted the Spock. That's why it shows up here. It's currently in progress. I hope, live effect, that the transaction goes through any second. But sometimes it takes a little bit longer. All the transactions that happen in your account, you can see here. Now it actually happened. So you can see also, we show the little icon here. Spocks are shown very nicely in the activities. I go back to the Spock flow. Now I can see it fully claimed. I can tap on it to read the information again. Basically the same like I showed on the screen before. We can also scroll down here a little bit, and we have one of the Easter eggs, which is this little guy that we call Spocker popping up if you scroll past your collection. And yeah, so that is Spock. I would say stay on the lookout for Spock drops around you. Follow Argent on Twitter. Follow your favorite dApps on Twitter. If you're on conferences, be on the lookout for QR codes to scan, because you will see these Spock drops popping up around you over the next month. And to close off, and again, we will show the QR code later again, so you will have time to claim. To end with, I want to show one of our other features that is quite new, which is the browser. We learned in our past products that one of the key things for users right now is to explore the ecosystem. There's a lot happening on Starknet. We have a lot of dApps being developed, a lot of dApps being added every month, a lot of new players coming to Starknet as it rises in popularity. And a browser is key to navigate that Web3 space, right? So if you want to stay on the edge and always play with new things, there's simply no way around a browser at the moment. So that's why we built browser as one of the core parts of Argent Mobile as well. And it also has some tweaks compared to a regular browser, so it's a little bit smarter. If I go in the URL bar, it basically knows about the apps that are out there in the ecosystem and autocomplete. So if I'm, for example, looking, you can see as I type, it shows me dApps that match what I'm looking for. If I go, for example, for AV, Avenue shows up. I can go to Avenue, which is a DEX aggregator. I can connect my wallet. It shows me Argent Mobile. I tap on it. I approve. And then I can do a swap, let's say, from Ethereum to USDT maybe. Press swap. Again, transaction review for everyone's safety. Shows me what happens to my account, what token goes out, what token comes in, the approved spending limits with it, which account is affected, the fee. Press approve. And here goes the transaction. Very seamless browser experience. And I can also, which is very nice, my favorite dApps, I can bookmark. So if I come back to the browser next time, I see, for example, Avenue here, bookmarked, and can easily access it. And that's it for the demo today. So particularly proud of the Spock launch. Again, keep on the lookout. There will be a lot happening on this in the next month. Browser, everyone, I encourage really everyone to explore the ecosystem. You can also reach dAppland from the browser just by typing in dApp. dAppland will show up where you can see an overview of all the different dApps that currently exist, or you just rely on autocomplete and explore the ecosystem. There's also more exciting things coming, so stay tuned. For example, we are working on a swap feature, which I bet a lot of people are currently missing here, especially if they come from Light. So that is something we are actively working on, where we will have the best rates in the future, and you can easily swap from the app in a few taps. And I think I also saw some people talking about it in the comments. Argent X import, so basically importing your Argent X account from desktop to mobile, is something that does unfortunately not work right now, but it is something we know that a lot of people want and that we are working on. Yeah. And I think that's it for today. So let's go to the questions. Will there be a unique address for all ecosystem in the mobile app? I'm not sure if I fully understand the question, but address for all the ecosystem. So the app currently is split. You can switch in the account switcher between mainnet, Starknet, and CK-Sync. All of these are contained in themselves, different chains, different features. I'm not sure if that answered the question. And when in-app explorer for CK-Sync and mainnet. Currently, I can't give a date for that. Currently, it's not planned to have an app explorer for CK-Sync and mainnet. We are heavily focusing on Starknet at the moment because, as I said in the beginning, we just believe it's the most promising L2. So currently our efforts are fully focused on Starknet. I see also here was a question, any plans to add wallet to Apple Pay or Google Pay? That's a very interesting request. It's a bit of a complex topic because it would require us to, have Apple Pay and Google Pay work over fiat. So we basically have to integrate with fiat rails. We are always exploring new options to get people easier into crypto, so on-ramp options and off-ramp options. No concrete plans yet for Apple Pay and Google Pay, but we are definitely looking into off-ramping options. I also see here is a question about how to bring CK-Sync era ETH to Starknet in Argent Wallet. So that is possible through a platform called LayerSwap. You can reach, so basically, let me check what the actual URL is. Maybe we can share it in the chat. But through LayerSwap, you can connect your CK-Sync era wallet and your CK-Sync and your Starknet wallet and bridge funds. Here it's shared. What else do we have here? For sharing the Spark project resistor. That's a good point. We actually did not look into this, but it's an interesting case. We will look into it, but no concrete plans at the moment. Any other questions? Let me see. Can we claim Spock later using QR code? So you can see it currently on the screen here. The claim ends 5:30 p.m. UTC today. So you still have time to scan and claim, but it will end today. When can we bridge tokens from Ethereum to Starknet in mobile? That actually works. So if you have a Vault account with us that is funded, you can go to the transfer flow and fund your Starknet mobile wallet from there. Any pending features you're working on right now? Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned it at the end of the call. So specifically, we are working on a swap feature to make it easy for you to swap at the best rates. So it will not be simply a swap where we make money or anything. It is a swap that gives you always the best rate that is available in the ecosystem. And it will also be very easy to use. So you don't have to use any wallet connect or go to a specific page. It will be directly integrated in the app. I think that is the most immediate, most soon coming feature to look out for. Can you share the link through the chat? I think we actually did that by now. Let me see. When integrate Argent Chrome with mobile. Yeah, I think I also quickly mentioned that during the call. We are working on it. I can't give you a date, but we are aware that a lot of people want to see their Argent X accounts, Argent Mobile, and we are working on it. Someone is also asking, the Spock only on Argent Mobile app? It also works on Argent X. On mobile, we just have I would say, a little bit more of a refined experience. So only on mobile, you can scan the QR code. You have this nice Easter eggy view experience. But technically, you can also open the link in your browser and claim with Argent X. That works as well. It's just especially for one use case we are looking at is real world events. And in real world events, people usually have their phone in their hand and not necessarily their laptop. So it's much easier to take out your phone, snap a QR code, and claim from there. Someone is also asking, what is the difference between Cairo 1 and Cairo 0? Address from mobile wallet have class version 1 and address from wallet with seed phrase have class 0. So that is simply a Starknet upgrade. All wallets will have to support Cairo 1 at some point to be future-proof. The browser wallet will also switch to Cairo 1 at some point. So the mobile, in our case, is just a little bit ahead at the moment. So the difference is mostly future-proofness. At some point, there is a date where all wallets have to be on Cairo 1. It's a technicality. Claimed on Argent X, but not showing on the NFT section. You should be able to see it in the NFT section on Argent X. Maybe the transaction is just not fully processed yet, and it takes a bit longer. What else do we have? Will you integrate Unframed? For those who have never heard about Unframed, Unframed is an NFT marketplace that we recently launched. And will we integrate it? Probably yes. Do we have concrete plans on doing that in the next few months? No. But since we built Unframed as well, I'm sure that will come at some point. How can I claim on Argent X is another question here. If you want to claim on Argent X, and I mean, I'm kind of biased because I was involved in building this, so I would encourage everyone to do it on Argent Mobile. But if you want to claim on Argent X, you have to use the web link. So I think we posted it somewhere in the comments. Go to that link on your browser that you have Argent X on, and it will allow you to connect your wallet and claim the Spock. That also works. Let me go through the questions. Here, Moni Wong is asking, how many chains can be bridged over to Starknet? If you use third-party dApps like LayerSwap, or I don't have another example, but there are other bridges as well. So there are bridges that you can use to basically bridge from any layer 2 to Starknet. But from within the Starknet mobile app, you can only bridge directly from your Vault account, so from mainnet. Someone is asking, is the seed phrase from the mobile address stored somewhere, or is it simply not there? Argent Mobile is a seed phrase-less wallet, right? So you don't have a seed phrase anywhere. The recovery, so basically, if you for whatever reason you lose access to your wallet, you can restore it via using cloud services. So we create a backup that is stored if you're on iOS, on iCloud, if you're on Android, on Google Cloud. So you have a very convenient way of restoring your wallet in case you ever lose your phone without having to remember a seed phrase that is easy to lose. Right. I think I see the fewer and fewer questions coming in. So I guess as a few closing words, remember to claim your Spock. I hope to see you on Argent Mobile. If you haven't downloaded it, download it. It's a fun experience. Explore the ecosystem. Claim the Spock. The Spock is open until 5:30 UTC. So remember UTC. Translate that into your own time zone so you don't miss the window. But if you have no funded wallet right now, it can be done very quick. Just download it. You can on-ramp via ramp by bridging from Vault, by sending from another Starknet wallet. There's a lot of options available, and it's fairly quick. So don't miss that Spock, and have fun exploring the ecosystem. Thank you. you.